Alright, hey, welcome back to Cole's farm. It is Sunday, June 7th. Hot. It's about 95 degrees with the humidity. And over here at hive number 3 for a routine inspection. As you can see, they still have their honey super on. I'm going to leave the supers on until about the end of June, then I'm going to harvest. So for this week's inspection, I'm going to take a quick look into the honey super just to see how they're working the frames. Move down into the brood chamber and see if I can find the queen this week so I can mark her using this one-handed queen catcher. Came in the mail last week. I was successful with finding a few queens and marking them, so the tool works just fine. The only catch is you have to find the queen. So of course, in the weeks prior to last week, I was able to find the queen every single time. I'd cage her so I could move through the rest of the colony without worrying about squishing or killing the queen. But of course, it seems like the bees know when you're trying to do something different, and that would be marking the queens for me. And all of a sudden, the queens become very evasive. So enough of me yapping. Let's get into hive number 3 and see how they're doing. Looks like a drone got caught up in the top. So here's another good tip. Even though I have a queen excluder on, it's not a bad idea to check or get into the habit of checking the bottom of the inner cover for the queen, because that has happened in the past, and not the distant past. That actually happened last week. So I don't know if you can see this or how well it comes up on camera, but looks like they're doing a pretty good job working the honey super. Let's just pull a few frames. I don't want to disturb them too much. Pull the center. It's pretty light. So it's not just me. I was talking to another beekeeper in the county over, and actually a few keepers around here. This is well, not completely, but probably 90% stored with nectar. However, they are just taking their sweet time with capping it. So he was having the same problem, and nobody really knows why, of course. It's not like the bees tell us. Now on the flip side, that is a nicely capped frame. It's not 100%, but it's a lot better than the other one. So that kind of aligns with what I plan on doing anyway, which is leaving the supers on until the end of the month, just giving them another 3 weeks to cap what they have. Hopefully that's enough time, but there's really no way to tell until that time comes. So tune back in then to see if the end of June they did a better job of capping the honey. And that really doesn't have that much weight to it either, probably 10 to 12 pounds. All right. Got some unexpected rain the other day, so a lot of the vegetation out here is wet, which is my typical fuel source for the smoker. Easy to check that because there's no bees on it. Alright, so just regular check on the brood chamber. If I can find the queen, that'd be great, so I can mark her. I would like to, there's a few things I don't want to find. That's swarm cells or supersedral cells. Outside frame, very typical food frame. Set that aside. Usually the second frame as well. Yeah. I don't know if it comes up on camera. Usually it doesn't, just because the comb's pretty dark. And it's a little overcast today, but you can see down in the cells, they look shiny because that is nectar they've stored. This is frame number 3. Okay, so the queen has definitely expanded her brood land to this frame. Let me look for her real quick and then I'll show you. Yeah, I don't think she's on here. I don't see her. But yeah, if you can see that or not, frame number 3 quite a few eggs and pupated larvae, which means those eggs were laid about 4 to 9 days ago because they're not capped. But she's expanded her brood out to frame 3, which is fantastic. So I won't really need my flashlight because I could easily see the eggs on that frame. And this frame is scattered with pupated larvae as well around all the capped brood. So no need to really check for eggs with the flashlight. So at this point, I just want to find the queen. There's a queen cup. It doesn't have an egg in it. It doesn't look wet. So they're just always in some kind of preparation mode to swarm. I think it's just what bees do, so don't freak out if you see a queen cup, meaning it's dry. There's really no reason to freak out if you find a queen cell, whether that's a supersedral cell or a swarm cell, because that's just naturally what bees do. Got another one up top here. We'll take a look at that in a second. It was a hot one today. That looks dry as well. Yeah, it is hot today. I'm not used to this heat. Okay, what is this, frame 5? So we're in the middle of the colony. No sign of the queen just yet. This is a very light frame, however, man, she is laying in every single cell. So this colony should have a whole bunch more bees here in the upcoming weeks. I mean, a whole bunch. She's even maximized the space by laying on this side in that little bit of comb they have drawn out. So I'll show you, let me double check, make sure she's not on here. I don't see her. Yeah, hopefully you can see this. But she's maximized her brood area in this side of the frame, or on this frame also. Oh man, this next frame is slap full. Alright. Try to hold the frame a little further away from me, so I feel like that would help find her. Like she would stick out a little more than holding it too close to me. But this is another excellent frame of brood as well. It's another queen cup, but it looks dry. I don't see her on here either. It's almost like the queens know when you want to mark them. Because all of a sudden, they get really good at hiding. Alright, this is frame 8. More brood. Yeah, next 2 to 3 weeks this colony's gonna blow up. Look at this side one more time. No. Alright, 2 more possibilities if I didn't overlook her. Some bees bringing in some very nice pollen. And some very, very new bees just hatched. They're very dusty. Some bright orange pollen as well. Not sure what that is off the top of my head. I'd have to look it up. And they're being very calm, which is nice. It would be very nice if I could find the queen. All right, one more frame. This is very comical to me at this point. 2 weeks in a row, if I don't find her this time around. 2 weeks in a row, I have really wanted to find the queen because I want to mark her. Like I said, it's almost like they know when you're trying to do something out of the ordinary. Because the previous weeks, I wasn't really concerned if I found the queen, as long as I found eggs, which there's plenty of eggs in this colony. So they were queen right, they were doing just fine. A few queen cups, but no queen cells, no wet queen cups, if you want to call it that. All right, well, that's that. And I think it's starting to rain, so I'm gonna wrap this up real quick. All right, that's number 3. They're queen right, they're looking good. Couldn't find the queen, so you know, what can you do? Yeah, let me get this boxed up because the camera does not have any sort of weatherproof case on it. Alright, so that's hive number 3. Decent, they're doing a decent job in the honey super. However, they are just not capping it as fast as I would like them to. So I'm going to leave that on until the end of June. Queen's doing an excellent job. Ton of eggs throughout the colony. However, I just couldn't find the queen. Therefore, I could not mark the queen. So, can't really do much about that. And that pretty much does it for this week. Thanks for watching Cole's Farm. I'm going to try and get out of this rain shower, mainly because the camera does not have a waterproof case, and the bees typically don't like being inspected when it's raining. So, thanks for watching. If you haven't done so, please subscribe. If you hit the bell, you'll receive notifications of future videos. We're also on Facebook and Instagram. If you look up Cole's Farm NC for North Carolina, that'll take you to the pages. Tune in next week for another routine inspection of hive number 3. And that is more so what a typical entrance looks like after I get done inspecting them. A little chaotic, mainly because they're trying to get away from me. Yep, that does it for this week. Hopefully this rain cools off the temps, because I am soaking wet. It feels like 95 degrees out here for sure with the humidity. Alright everybody, thanks for watching this week.